Okay. Hello to everyone. Let's wait some seconds to permit other people to join us, because so far we are in 14 persons. So a moment. Okay, I think we can start. My name is Roberto Ronzani from the Italian Institute, and today I'm hosting Ilaria Bucci. Ilaria Bucci is a PhD student of industrial engineer at Florence University in Italy, and she's also a research fellow at Politecnico di Milano, Politecnico of Milan. And today, Ilaria is going to tell us something about Lean 5.0. So Ilaria, you can go.
Hello to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here at Lean Global Connection, and I will take you on a journey toward Lean 5.0. Let's say sharing a conceptual framework and empirical insights drawn from the luxury fashion industry. So my goals today is to bridge the academic perspective with the industrial application, offering lens on these evolving paradigms. This is the structure of my presentation, but let's start within the context of Industry 5.0, which accordingly to the European Commission goes beyond the traditional productivity and growth, and it aims to position the manufacturing as a driver of societal goals, combining resilience, sustainability, and workers' well-being. This marks an important shift from the purely technology-driven system of Industry 4.0 to this new human-centric approach. In day-to-day competitive landscape, Lean principle for sure remain as fundamental for performance improvement. And the Lean principles are particularly aligned with the Industry 5.0. In fact, for example, the principle for respect for people and maximizing the valorization of their capability will meet the emergency urge of human centricity in manufacturing promoted by Industry 5.0. So our research focuses on two main objectives. First, the understanding of Lean's role in the human-centric framework proposed by Industry 5.0, and second, applying the Lean human-centric practices in the luxury fashion industry in order to understand the Industry 5.0 transition in this specific context. So a conceptual framework has been proposed and applied through an in-depth case study into the two luxury leather goods realities in Italy that we have chosen. From the methodology side, we can see that our methodology is structured is basically in two phases. First, literature review was performed in order to establish a real theoretical foundation and identifying the gaps in the current knowledge and a comprehensive definition of Industry 5.0 that is a large and new paradigm, but also in order to understand how this integration of Lean principle within the paradigm of Industry 4.0 and then transitioning to 5.0 is possible. Second, the selection of traditionally crafty sector show the possibility of establishing a successful Industry 5.0 environment in the real manufacturing. So, regarding the case study methodology, this approach we follow first identifying the research question, and we then select the luxury group with the two brands for an in-depth analysis. At the first step of the analysis, we conducted some semi-structured interviews in order to gather the insights from the key personnel and the employee of these brands. And then we gather secondary data, collecting data both from documents and on-field observation. We then analyze data, coding and interpreting the collected ones. And then in order to validate our findings, we shared the results with the brand representatives. Regarding the results from the literature review, we were able to define this specific framework that highlights that there are some specific interaction within these well-known paradigms of Industry 4.0, lean, and human centricity. So, as we see, the proposed conceptual framework outline the evolution toward a new productive horizon that is Lean 5.0. But let's go in detail of the others intersection. First, we can find the Lean 4.0 that integrates Lean principle with the technology-driven capabilities. So Lean 4.0 aims to enhance the operational performance while optimizing manufacturing processing. Then we can find the lean human-centric paradigm that maximizes the lean respect for people principle, the well-being and the needs of employee, aiming to improve both operational performance for sure, but also empowerment and engagement. Going on, we can find the Industry 5.0 with human-centric vision that represent the natural progression of Industry 4.0, emphasizing the integration of human elements in the production process. And finally, we arrived to Lean 5.0, that is the emerging paradigm that integrates Lean with advanced human-centric practices and digital principles. So Lean 5.0 combines the efficiency and waste reduction, that is the focus of Lean, within the technology Industry 4.0 capabilities, and further enrich this integration, prioritizing also the human aspects. There are the main characteristics of the brands involved in this case study. As we can see, this case study has been developed in the fashion sector since the human factor still plays a crucial role in this artisanal context. And among them, for sure, the luxury fashion industry is particularly promising since the role of the operator is central to this type of production process. We can say that the brands that we choose are best in class in terms of lean practices application within the chosen brands. So within this context of this case study, the starting point was the focus on lean human-centric. To go deeper in this analysis, we have identified two possible domains. So the empowerment that enables independent decision-making through the training and the job enrichment aspect, and the engagement that can foster emotional commitment through job and organizational engagement. From the insights of the case study and starting from the definition of lean human-centric practices, we were able to list a set of Lean 5.0 practices as they can integrate human need with technology. We can see the list of these Lean 5.0 practices, and in this first slide are specifically related to the empowerment domain and the training area. We can see that, for example, induction training supported by cloud manufacturing ensures that the new employees receive the consistency and high quality onboarding process. These practices combines hands-on experience with digital tools, bridging the traditional methods and the modern technology. Under, for example, the domain of empowerment, but focuses on job enrichment, we can find that using MES and hand-on system supported by Industry of Things technology and big data analytics, so the employees can receive real-time feedback on production process, and this enables proactive decision-making and enhances their roles within the organization. Under the category of engagement, and let's say specifically related to the organizational one, we can find, for example, the cloud-based tools that can facilitate a structured problem-solving session, for example, but even some meetings like the Obeya meetings. So this ensures that lean principles are upheld while integrating advanced analytics to drive for continuous improvement and collaboration. Going on, we can find that under the engagement, but specific to the job one, we can find the 5S audit that are supported by cloud manufacturing and big data analytics. And these are regular audits that using 5S practices, but using also digital tool, are able to maintain the workplace organization and efficiency while prioritizing the human satisfaction of the employee. So, the case study findings reveal that the lean human-centric practices can significantly enhance the employee satisfaction, and for example, that cross-functional teams participation in decision-making and job rotation, for example, were frequently cited from the employee as factors that are increasing the employee commitment. On-field observation noted an increased team interaction and proactive engagement in the problem-solving session, indicating that higher employee fulfillment and morale. And here we can find some quotes from the interviews. For example, a brand B team leader states that job rotation has been game changer for him, because switching the roles not only breaks the monotony, but it's empowering to know several aspects of the work process and keeps it job interesting. For me, it's motivated, he said. Also, brand A employees highlights the important impact of comprehensive lean human-centric practices on the employee engagement and also on the loyalty. So it underscores that the importance of not just skill development, but also employee involvement in decision-making process. And we can find another quote from the employee that reports that compared to his previous job experience, where training was the sole focus, he feel more connected to this company because truly listen to his needs. So it's important to note that this employee it's loyal to the company. So going on with some quantitative results, we can note that from a quantitative point of view, brand A implement 19 lean human-centric best practices, and they are balanced well between empowerment and engagement domains, and shows higher employee retention and satisfaction. Brand B implements 13 lean human-centric practices, and they are mostly in the empowerment domain, so demonstrate slightly higher employee turnover compared to the brand A. Brand A leads in Lean 5.0 adoption because they have a higher number of lean human-centric practices supported by Industry 4.0 technology compared to the brand B application. And this underscore the potential for further innovation in both companies, because we find out that there are few technologies implemented for the moment, especially in an artisan sector such as fashion industry. So we can find out that the integration of lean and specifically Industry 5.0 principle deliverables some tangible benefit, like for example, an higher employee satisfaction with an enhanced workforce engagement. In fact, Lean 5.0 can enhance the loyalty from an employee to a company. We can find out that there is an enhanced operational excellence through these digital tools used, and a synergistic relationship between both technology and also, let's say, the human capabilities. For industries aiming to transitioning to this new paradigm of Lean 5.0, let's say that the research provides some actionable tips. So we can invest in the employee training, but not also the sole training, but supported by the digital platform because they can enhance the satisfaction of the employee and leverage on technologies like, for example, big data analytics for the continuous improvement. So you can monitorize the as-is situation and thinking about the to-be one. We can also prioritize the human well-being alongside the technological advancement for sure. And so let's say that beyond the operational gains, for sure Lean 5.0 contributes to broader societal goals, such as creating workplaces that are inclusive, sustainable, and resilient. And it's a model for balancing the productivity with the humanity of the manufacturing. Future studies should explore how broader spectrum of industrial context, particularly those with varying degrees of Industry 4.0 maturity and also unique characteristics, can evolve towards Lean 5.0, because now we have analyzed a particular sector like the fashion one that is very focus on the operator, and all the production processes are related to the operator, but there are a lot of industry more automated that could be for sure interesting to explore and to understand how is the path to Lean 5.0. Maybe they can start from Lean 4.0 and not from Lean human-centric practices. So this would allow for the investigation into the alternative transition path to the Lean 5.0 context. And thank you for your attention. I look forward to hearing you and your thought and answering any question about this journey toward Lean 5.0. Additionally, this is the QR code that links directly to the full study that is published into the Journal of Manufacturing Technology Management. So feel free to access for deeper dive into these findings and into these frameworks. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Ilaria. And so I wrote in the chat, all of you can make questions. You can use for questions and icons in the bottom part of the screen, question and answer, or in your language. And we wait. We have time enough to answer 4, 5, 6 questions, depending how long they are. While you are thinking about questions, I have a question for Ilaria. Probably a couple of questions. The first is to implement this kind of combination between Industry 4.0, Lean, and Human-Centric. Is there inside the company a specific team that is supporting this transition? How is it composed, and how long has it worked to implement? From the beginning, if you know, of course.
Okay, yes, of course, I know. And yes, the answer is that there are specific teams dedicated to this particular transition. Specifically, in the brand A, there is a lean team that is composed by 3 employees. The one is the manager, and the other 2 are like a collaborator of this team. And their background are from engineering, but one is from the mechanical engineering department. And so it's interesting how they can find a solution to this transition, because they merge their skills, so the managerial ones, into the operational part with optimizing like the production process for sure. In the brand B is interested because they have a smaller team with only a lean process engineering, and the other figure is the quality one. So they would like to implement these Lean 5.0 practices into the quality. And within this brand, we have also a collaboration to develop the human part of the quality control, so accordingly to the need of the operators. But for sure, this transition is long, and is a project that going on within 1 year from now. 1 year ago, it started, and we aim to continue this process with them. I hope I
Okay.
answered to your question.
While you were answering, arrived a couple of questions. One is from an anonymous. So this is the first question. How can you use technology to help leaders to teach and coach people better?
Okay, I can answer with a specific example of the company. Going back to my previous slides. Um, like for the training part, these two companies, for example, they use cloud manufacturing because they have a platform, a shared platform across the plant where they put best practices videos, and they are available in every moment from the employee point of view with the tablet that they put in their workstation. So not only in the induction training part, so at the beginning they take the employee and they teach them on a separate lines, far from the production, so they can express their doubts and let's say produce bags with some defects. But not only with this cloud manufacturing based platform, they could provide also detailed standard operating procedures. So with multimedia integration, like videos and photos, to enhance clarity and to enhance the adherence of operational guidelines from the employee sides. So we used these type of technologies within this context because it is very, very centered on the operator's point of view. Maybe in the automotive sector, we can think about something more automated for sure, and not only a cloud platform supporting the operation of the employee.
Okay, connected with this question, there's one more. Another anonymous, probably the previous one. Have you experimented with using virtual reality to improve process and develop people? Virtual, or I mean, also can be augmented reality.
Okay. For the moment, it's only at the beginning with the brand that we have the lean specialist and the quality manager involved, because they wanted to use virtual reality in order to improve the quality control. So maybe with the visors, let's say, the employee can see some warnings about possible defects looking at the final product, so in this case, a bags, and the augmented reality can help him to improve also decision making in order to understand if this bag is sellable or needs to rework. But for the moment, we haven't improved yet. It's on the process, let's say. So it's
Okay.
an interesting starting point to going on.
Thank you, Ilaria. One more question coming from Ashuel Makan. I hope to have pronounced it correctly, properly. I don't know how easy for you to answer here because probably it needs another research, but in a third world countries where skills level of employees are not very high, what would you approach? What would your approach be implemented Lean 5.0?
Maybe we need another research, but it's a very interesting suggestion in order to start to think that we are not at the same level of competencies, but we can find out also in this context. We ask for semi-structured interview with a lot of operators, and we find out that some operators are able to interact with this technology, they are ready, but other types of operator are not so ready. So for sure, the starting point to transitioning to Lean 5.0 is the training the training of the employee in order to understand how is the level of this employee according to not only the lean principle for sure, but also to technology capabilities. So if they are ready to this transition, if it's not, we need to digital training them because it's the base to evolve to Lean 5.0, the integration with technology. Because for sure the attention of the needs comes from the company point of view, but the digital skills are needed inside the operators. So I
Okay.
suggest to implement a focuses training program to develop these skills.
So no more question arrived, but I have one. That is this. You mentioned before, if I'm correctly understood, that in the brain A, where the implementation was deeper, okay, the turnover of people decreased, okay.
Yeah.
And so, what was the main barrier that you could have find on people to implement new technologies? There were any barriers or not? Because normally, sometimes some people is more resistant to any change. But are you aware of some particular barrier, and how were you able, I mean you and the system, able to overcome them?
For sure, we find out that this company, as I said before, are best in class in terms of operational excellence with the lean environment. So they were open even to investment and invest in such technologies that I showed to you before. So maybe in other contexts, like the small, medium enterprises, we can find the barriers of investment in new technology for sure. But even in these structured companies, we find out that sometimes the main barriers is the resistance to the change of the operators because they they are there from years and the answer is I always do like that. I don't want to change. So with the HR department, we have to explain to them that it's not the technology that will replace the work, but it's like a new skills that they develop that could simplify the works and can concentrate to other operations, not only to the repetitive one. So they are helped by technology and not replaced. This is the important facts and the main barriers that we find out within these two companies. And the brand A, it's more ready because, in my opinion, they have opened a new plant from zero. So with new employees that they are not here from years like in the brand B, and so they were more open to innovation, let's say.
Yes, it's typical with new persons. You can make a new culture step by step that it is not necessary to destroy a previous culture to build up a new one, but you can start from a green ground. Okay, the time has gone. No other question arrived, so I thank everybody to be at this session, and also for sure Ilaria to be here and telling us your her story. So thank you very much, and let's see next time in the other session or next year. Ilaria?
I want to thank you all from the organizational part to the all the people that are listening and we find out some important suggestion for future research, others in respect to what I'm presented. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and I hope to see you maybe on LinkedIn or the next year at Lean Global Connection for further development of the research. Thank you very much.
Somewhere, sometime. Okay, bye bye to all of
Bye
us.
bye. Thank you.